Hello friends, Xaft here, and today I'm playing my favorite tank, the Protection Warrior. I'm going to be doing a plus 12 hauls using the one button rotation. Alright, here we go. Starting off the dungeon Halls of Atonement plus 12 on my Protection Warrior. First pull, starting off with a Houndmaster, the Dark Blades. This pull is pretty annoying. Yep, there we go. Somebody went down before we even started. Alright, starting off the pull. Kick this Loyal Beast cast. Going in with the Shard of Halkias. Make sure you're kicking the Collector when he's casting the Siphon Life. And make sure you're kicking the Houndmaster when he's casting Royal Beast. Looks like we got this Slasher. That's alright. My route does include a few Slashers. And they're scattered throughout, so I can just skip one later on. Alright, the Shard of Halkias puts down some circles. We gotta get out of those. Got knocked back by the Slasher. Almost off the edge there, but didn't. Nice. Point the frontal away from the group. Here's the knockback. I can just charge right in afterwards. No big deal. Disrupting Streak is the AoE. Alright, this gargoyle is going down. After this, we're going to go down to the next shard. Alright, here we go, pulling the shard. Get that straggling groundskeeper. Kicking the Siphon Life. Siphon Life does a lot of damage. Also, there's a lot of bolts going out here. And the AoE from the shard. So, a lot of damage going out. And as soon as all the casters are dead, we're going to go ahead and pull the next Houndmaster. Alright, the casters are dead. Pulling the shard over here. And into the Houndmaster. Same thing as before, just want to make sure you kick that Loyal Beast cast. Here comes the cast. Interrupted. Very nice. Now let's just finish off the Houndmaster, because he just doesn't move. On to the next pull. Bringing them all together. These Gorgons are the ones that come with the Houndmaster. If the Loyal cast goes off, the Gorgons become enraged. Alright, interrupt that, and pulling in some more groundskeepers. They really don't do anything except run away when they're low on health. Alright, everyone's dead there. Just gonna go on to the next pack there. Looks like the shaman is getting a little bit impatient here. Knockback and charge right in. Make sure to point the frontal away. Interrupting Loyal Beast. So I really like using the one button with the warrior. It does a really good job of keeping you alive and doing DPS and keeping aggro. It really has a lot of good upfront damage right at the beginning of the pull. Alright, everything here is going down now, and the gargoyle is about to be dead, so we're going to pull the next group. Alright, make sure you interrupt. So I interrupted those guys with my AoE kick. Bringing them all together so that we can DPS them down. All these bolts do a lot of damage, so as much as you can kick them, the healer's going to really like that. Everything here is dead. Gonna pull the next group here, in with the groundskeepers. And I do want to pull the Houndmaster, but he was walking away, so I'll get him soon. Here he comes. Trying to group everything as much as I can. As soon as this Houndmaster is dead, we can pull the next group. So other than just pushing the one button assistant, of course you have to push your defensives, but I macroed in shield block with the one button, so it automatically casts that. Alright, we're on the next shard here. As soon as most of this other group is dead, I'm going to pull the groundskeepers over here. It's better to pull those like halfway through the pull, because some of the DPS are funnel classes, and they like to have extra targets around. So when the other group was dying, I pulled in the groundskeepers. The Feral Druid is a funnel class. Alright, that shard is dead, and I'm gonna go pull the Houndsmaster right over here down the ledge. Ooh, he got aggro for a second, but got it right back. Alright, kill this Houndmaster, and I'm gonna want to pull that next Houndmaster also. The Shaman says he wants to lust on the top of the stairs after the boss, and I agree with that. Alright, pulling this Houndmaster, and as soon as he's dead, we're gonna pull the boss. I'm going to ping right over here, that way everyone knows I'm going to pull the boss, like right now. The Warlock did not make it into the circle. I suppose I could have stopped and checked to make sure it was coming, but it's a plus 12. Alright, just move the slam out of the way. The Warlock had it. And just get out of the way of the beams. Right, more slams. So it's basically just the same thing again. If you are outside of the circle, you're going to get feared, so don't do that. I like to stack up the ground stuff. And then when he gets to 100 energy, that's when he's going to spin around with the lasers. So I'm going to want to move him. I'm not sure because I don't really take damage from either, but I think that going through the beam is less damage than standing in the goop. More slams. He's building up energy. Alright, he's up to almost 100 energy. Now he's there. Moving him out. Alright, the shaman said he's going to lust on the next pole, so that's going to be exciting. One thing I really like about using the one button is that you really get a chance to pay attention to everything that's going on around you. Okay, here we go into this pill. Popping lust. Now we're seeing Reavers. That's a new thing that we haven't seen. And they do a frontal kind of tank buster. Now the ankle biters are coming in. I'm going to stun those because they jump around and do damage to the party. I think the guy was in the circle there, I'm not really sure. But I'm glad we lusted so that we can finish off this pack. Nice and easy. Don't stand in those circles. Alright, this pack is dead. And we definitely have enough percent, I think. So we can skip these guys and just run up the stairs. The Warlock pulled. That's fine. Alright, but we've seen these flashers before, so... Pulling two at a time is kind of hard on higher difficulties because of the amount of AoE damage they do in burst. Especially if they're synced up like this. Alright, just did a lot of damage to the group, and I'm gonna pull the boss probably as soon as it gets 100. And these frontals stop happening. Alright, going in on the boss. And for this boss, you're going to want to tank him right here in the center and wait for the ads to spawn. Here come the ads. They're going to walk a few steps out and then start casting. I have an AoE kick, which is really good and gets them nice and tight. Here comes the big circle, and you're going to want to walk that right on top of all the dead ads so that you can crush them. After that, there's going to be some blood that goes on the ground, and you don't want to stand in that. And then that's it. So you've seen the fight, and we're just going to repeat it. Alright, we didn't have any gargoyles, but he still walked in. I guess that's a good habit to have. This time I don't have the AoE kick, so it's a little harder to group them up. But the team is helping out, so that's pretty nice. I think the healer's out of CDs. Killing off the ads, and then we're going to crush them. I think a couple of them are alive. But the boss won't be for long. And I'm letting the team know that I'm going to pull them outside right here. And I target a Gargan and pull him right over here. Alright, good. Someone else kicked that one, so I'll kick the next one right here. And this pull can be pretty dangerous if you let any of those casts go through. Yeah, but this Handmaster is dead, and I'm going to kill off the next Handmaster. As soon as that happens, we can start moving toward the next boss. Alright, backing up, here we go. Alright, grabbing this pack here, pulling them across right here. Line of sighting them around this wall. And it's the same stuff again, the Obliterator, Dark Blades, and Collector. Kick the Collector's Siphon Life. And then as many bolts as you can as well. Alright, very nice. This pack is dead, and we're over percent. That's better than being under, so that's good. Alright, pulling the boss. For this boss, he's going to cast some bolts. You can kick those whenever you can. Get out of the stuff on the ground. make sure you take this ghost here that's spawning and run him into a capsule. Just like that. More stuff you just have to get out of. And that's the whole fight. Here goes the ghost. He pulls his AoE damage when he's alive, so you want to hit him into the capsule as soon as possible. I'm looking around and seeing where the next capsule is spawning. I'm going to ping over here and show them where they can hit. Right, you can see that a lot of people go low when the ghost is up. But for me, this fight is kind of boring. I mean, I could really even just stand in the circles, and it wouldn't even really do that much damage to me. Watch your step. Well, this boss is pretty much dead here. We're looking pretty good on time. Alright, so this mini-boss is a pain. We're going to want to lust this boss here, I told him that. It would have been a little bit better to wait until right here to lust, because he just healed up. It's only like 2 seconds or something, no big deal. Alright, so he calls these little ads in, and they heal him when he's doing the cast. And then he also does a bunch of stuff on the floor. Puts some circles around the players, and puts some blood on the ground. And you saw him heal up a little bit there. That's why he's annoying, especially if you don't have the DPS to burst him down. Okay, we're going to go on to the next boss. We're not going to wait for these ads to die. They don't really do anything. This boss is pretty easy, I think. You just gotta get out of the way of the flying statues. And get out of the big frontal. Get out of these circles. Here comes the statue again. Warlock got hit by it. Watch the statue. Warlock got hit by it. The shaman asks people to heal? I'm not really sure what he meant by that. Well, here's the second part of this fight. He sucks in all the statues. Then he explodes them out. And he shoots out lines to each statue, and each line has to be soaked by a player. But you can soak two if you get right in between them and real close to the boss. You can see that here, what I'm doing. And the Warlock's AFK, I guess? I'm not really sure. Is he gonna take the res? Alright, that's the whole fight. Just gonna repeat the same thing again, once more. So we're gonna have a phase of statue tossing, then he's gonna go into the middle again. And then he's just gonna toss some statues about. So, all in all, I think pretty easy. Right, here come the statues again. Now they get exploded. And you can see how I get real close and soak two of the lines. Now this boss would go down a lot faster if we had a lock with us. But, oh well. I think we're gonna time it anyways. Yeah, overall, I really think that the one button does a great job with the warrior. It's good at getting aggro right up front. It keeps you alive as long as you use the macro that shield blocks as much as possible. And it's pretty fun to use. Well, the boss is dead now. Awesome. We got a +1 on the Halls 12. Nice. See you guys next time.